Halito, April here with Aaliyah Creative. I'm so excited you're here. So let's make a spread in our Anything Goes journal. Do you ever want to make a journal spread or journal, but you have no idea what to journal about, what to document, what to put on the paper? That is me all of the time. So, one of the ways I've learned to work intuitively is just to grab some supplies, one or two random bits of ephemera or paper, and build the page around that. So, we're starting off here with some art supplies that I don't use very often because they're just not my jam, and that's my TomBow markers. But I decided to pull them out and give it a go. And then in the upper corner here, you can see that I have my piece of ephemera, which is just a little envelope that I drew, and it actually fell on the floor and it didn't get put in the spread with the rest of the things that I was making. So I picked it up off the floor, laid it here, and thought, let's build the page around this. And this is me working intuitively. I just started with some scribbly bits, and for color palette, I decided to go with some reds and pinks. So sometimes narrowing it down to a specific bit of colors can also be a way to sort of challenge yourself and get going on it. So, yeah, and I'm just going in and doing these little scratchy bits. I'm being very scribbly on purpose, just kind of loosening up, getting creative, throwing in some hearts because that is always a go to when I don't know what to do. I will start doing hearts for florals. So I do also have my Faber-Castell Black Edition colored pencils that I'm working with today. They are not properly, properly. They are not properly um sharpened, that's the word. So they're not properly sharpened, and it's going to give me such a fit throughout this whole thing. I wish that I had taken a few extra minutes to sit down and sharpen them or sharpen the ones that I wanted. That's part of working intuitively. And then I'm going in with my beloved white Signo gel pen. I say beloved because I have a strong love hate with this. I think they're one of the best white gel pens, but they're not always because they're very hit or miss. I have about 6 of these, and there are 2 that work like they're supposed to, and the rest of them do not. So why, April, do you keep the ones that don't work? I don't know. I don't know why I'm like this. So now we're going in with the envelope on the corner. So fun little tip. If you're going to glue straight on your paper, like I do here, see the little shiny bit? Yeah, that's glue. And that can cause a problem later. So you might not want to do that. You might want to, apply the glue to the side or, not just get it all over your page. But you know what? I don't care. I'm just going with it. That's how I work intuitively sometimes because this journal is not about creating any type of perfect spread. This is really about intuitive, creative play. So here we are working in. I made this little squiggly arrow. I'm going to be honest, I still have no clue what I'm doing with this page. But I do know that it's centered around this envelope. So I'm drawing an arrow to it because why not? Why not? And then this is me thinking, no clue what I'm doing here. And so I'm like, maybe I need a new supply. And I was actually looking for the pencil sharpener, but I found this roll of washi tape and I thought, oh, those colors will work. And I haven't used this washi tape very much. So let's put some washi tape in there. And then here's me finding the sharpener, and this goes well, very, very well. I need a new pencil sharpener. This one's old. It breaks my pencils all the time. So look at that great sharp point. I really think I have won it. I have done it. This is going to make this so much easier. Going over this, now you might be asking, April, you have markers over there. You could just use the markers. It would be faster. Yes, I could have, but I wanted to use my colored pencils. I will link all the supplies that I am using down below. So if you're interested, you can pick those up. I just like to have that handy because I know I appreciate it when other creators do that as well. And that reminds me, Don't forget to like and subscribe. Our tiny little channel is trying to grow, and I really do need your help with that. So if you find this at all interesting, or maybe you think I'm insane and you can relate to that, please give a little like and a subscribe so that you can stay up to date and all that jazz. Anyway, so we're still working on this. I am going to confess I spent an amazing amount of time working on that arrow, and I'm going to go over it with marker later, guys. Yep. So I discovered that this washi tape, it dawned on me that it's supposed to be layered, and that when you layer it, it creates a photo, which makes sense because I was like, why do I want a washi tape that just has a bird's tail on it? So here is me testing this out for the first time. And it's really cute. I really like it. I didn't leave enough at the top. So I cut that little bit off, and then I thought this was a weird shape. So I was like, oh, let's just stick some more, let's make it weirder. And then I thought that little bit of script would go great on that envelope. And now I'm like, what have you done? What have you done? So we just revert back to something we like best. And that's my tip for you today. If you have something that you tend to do repeatedly, that's easy and simple. When you get stuck, do that. Just put hearts on the page. It's simple, it adds something to it, but it keeps you in that creative flow. And sometimes, as you're doing that, you will find yourself kind of easing into the next step. So I thought, maybe I want to do some journaling on this page. That would be really good. So that's kind of where my thought process is. I'm kind of building out some areas where I might want to journal. So I'm going through my scraps here. Look at the little octopus. I drew that from a book. I believe it was Adorable Art Class. I'll link that too if that's the correct one. And so he's just there cute. He doesn't go with it. I don't end up using him, but I just wanted to you to see how cute that little guy is. So I did pull out some scrapbook papers and some stickers and this mushroom thing. I love this little mushroom thing I cut out from a magazine. I have been trying to use this for like months now. And it's like I like it, so I don't want to use it, but also it's kind of hard to use. So I decided, you know what? It goes with this kind of sickening color scheme that we have on now. Is getting a little overwhelming. So let's add to it, right? Let's just go ahead and commit. So, and then I have these little bits of scrapbook paper that I have created, not scrapbook paper, paper bits, painted papers. That's what they are. So I'm putting those in, and they were like, I had cut them. So there's some sharp angles, and it gives this really weird edge that was bothering me. And I kept trying to fix it. And then I just decided, you know what? Let's just go with it. It doesn't matter. It's not a masterpiece, right? We're just having fun. And then these cute little stickers that I got off of Amazon. They're a little girl and with some cats and little cat themed stickers, and they're so adorable. And I just wanted to use some of those. Pulling out some word stickers here from Chrissy Ann. I've had these forever. And I was like, this one, it says, I didn't punch anyone today. So I decided that that was ideal. And I've got that in, and it added a nice little impact to the page. And then I'm still thinking that I'm going to go in and do some journaling. And I grabbed my Tombow, which are not something I like to journal with. And so I'm like, okay, well, let's use it anyway. So I was thinking about mail, as this is a letter, and I was thinking about how I haven't gotten any good mail lately. It's all been like junk and bills and just like, stupid stuff. So I was like, oh, I need some happy mail. My mailbox is sad. So I need to like order something that will come in the mailbox. But most things I order, they get delivered to my door. So I just get kind of, and then up here I was like, okay, I'm gonna go in and do some journaling in the corner. And I hated it, with a passion. It was crooked. I suddenly realized I wasn't in the mood to do like journaling about my mail. So I was like, I don't want to do that. So we do what we do here, and we cover it up with another piece of scrap paper, because why not? When you mess up, just glue something over the top of it. I mean, it's okay. It's all good. And then, like, that looked kind of weird. So it's like, you know what? We need to balance it out with another little random piece of paper. I could have torn these or cut these and made them like some reasonable shapes, but I was just going with literally what was in my hand. And here we go. After all that time that we spent coloring these in, we're like, you know what? I'm just going to go over it with marker because why not? Oh, and then let's make a little heart there. But, this is just the way it is when you work intuitively sometimes. And here I'm like, what else can I go? Why is my mailbox sad? Why is it a sad little mailbox? And just having fun going in with my lettering here. And again, I really wasn't trying to make anything neat or perfect. At this point, I am not happy with the fact that I have so much red and pink. It's not thrilling me at this point. I wish that I had chosen another color to break it up. I don't know. I mean, I don't hate it, but also it just makes me feel a little bit sick for some reason. Maybe it's the shades, maybe it's that there is that orange in there, and so it's giving, like, orange, red, and pink, which reminds me of this shirt that I had when I was little that I absolutely loved, and it was just, like, this T-shirt with these, like, wide stripes that were, like, red and orange and pink, and I love that stupid shirt. Looking back, I wore it sometimes with my green, like, grass green uh, shorts, overalls, where you let the one strap dangle on the back loose because that was a statement with my green tennis shoes because I was so fashionable and I was poor. And it was literally like one of the only outfits that I ever got to like pick out and purchase for myself when I was a teenager. And that is what I went with, something that made a statement. So I decided, let's draw a mailbox since I didn't want to journal in this corner. So I sketched it out in pencil and then I'm going over it with my Sharpie, pen I always use, the Sharpie pen, the Sharpie pens. And I made him a sad little mailbox. And then I make a choice. I make a choice that, you know what, this page doesn't have enough of right now? Red and pink. It definitely needs more red and pink. So we're going back in to struggle with the pencil sharpener again, and oh, it's driving me insane. I was literally getting so frustrated. It wasn't sharpening evenly, so like it was making like scratchy things, but I was just determined to use my colored pencils. And I do love these colored pencils, and they don't generally break a lot when I sharpen them. So I really do think it is the pencil sharpener. I've had it for so long and I just need to get a new one. But it was driving me insane. And so, but at the same time, I was really enjoying the process because, yes, I could have used the markers and it would have been a much faster process. But the truth was that I'm actually enjoying coloring in. And oh, it just broke again, didn't it? Yes, it did. I'm like, let's make this side darker because I felt like it needed to be. I mean, technically, I think the inside of the mailbox should have been darker if you were thinking about it from a realistic perspective. But I don't really do much of anything from a realistic perspective. I prefer to live in the world of fantasy where we don't really worry about things like that. We just do what we want. We just live in a land of delusion because when you look at the world today, the land of delusion sounds a lot better than what's really going on out there. So join me if you too would like to live in the land of delusion where it's all good, everything's fine. Then please like and subscribe. So filling this in, and I did do some shading. That was interesting. That was a choice. And we've got our scribbles. This is a page, isn't it? But it is me getting warmed up, getting my creativity flowing, having some fun with it. I did some drawing, so that's actually, you know, some skill building there. And here I had to document the fact that I was a little disturbed by my color choices here, that they were just a little overwhelming. So all this red and pink is kind of making me feel sick. And then I decided we needed another arrow. Now, I'm pretty good at drawing arrows, but please don't look at this page and judge me by that because I don't know why they needed a squiggle. And I don't know, but that's what I did. It's a choice and I made it. And I needed black. So there we go. Thank you again for joining me today. Bye.